welcome to my channel on art and design. This week's video is going to be about my recent trip to Peru and the Inca Trail, what to bring, what not to bring, and other important information that's useful to know. I am at the moment in London. I got back yesterday and I finished the trail on October 2nd. Today's October 6th. And I can still feel it in my legs and knees, the hiking pain, but it was definitely worth it. So I'm going to give some information about what to pack and what are useful things to know. And also I usually do my videos in Turkish, so this is for the Turkish audience. Bu haftanın videosu İngilizce olacak ve Inca yolu, Peru'ya olan seyahatimle ilgili size faydalı içerikleri İngilizce paylaşıyor olacağım. Eğer isterseniz altyazıyı açabilirsiniz videoda. So let's start with what are the main topics about, that I'm going to talk about. First, Inca Trail preparation, what to bring, what to expect. If I had known what not to bring and what I would do differently. Food, water, money issues, hygiene, medication, training and altitude situation. Documents, permits, which season to visit, how is it as a female solo traveler, and accommodation, logistics and safety. So these are the main topics, and I will also give you a brief information about the Inca Trail. So Inca Trail it starts from kilometer 82, a little bit outside of Cusco, Ollantaytambo Valley. You can do Machu Picchu with train and bus, and that's the easy way. Well, you can start from the point 82 and walk 42 kilometers with the altitude and arrive to Machu Picchu through the Sun Gate, and this is the one that I did. And I'll also tell you what's the difference between Inca Trail and Salkantay Trek. Inca Trail is the more historic walk of the Incas, the road they created royally to travel to Machu Picchu. You'll find more information if you read about it online. I want to keep the focus on this video about the trail itself. And on the way you see lots of different Inca temples, farming areas, storage areas. So it is also an archaeological sightseeing hike, and it's very beautiful because you see different climates, different landscapes, and also lots of animals and flowers and plants. So for me, this was a very, very memorable experience. The difference between Inca Trail and the Salkantay, which is another option, is Inca Trail allows 500 people per day with permits, and you can usually get these permits through travel agencies or trekking agencies. And you have to bring your passport, this is very important. And you do the historic walk for 4 days, 3 nights. Salkantay is usually 5 days, 4 nights. You don't need a permit, but also you need to have an entrance ticket to Machu Picchu. The difference is you don't go through the Sun Gate when you arrive. You just go to Aguas Calientes on Salkantay Trek, and then you take a bus to Machu Picchu, or you can of course walk up to Machu Picchu. But the difference is on Salkantay you don't see as many Inca temples and Inca sites, but you still see a beautiful landscape of mountains, nature, mountain lakes, and some part of it you can do it with a horse. You don't have to stay in tent in all of the parts. You mostly you can stay in bed and breakfast and cottages. But on the Inca Trail you stay on tent all 3 nights, or if you finish maybe a day early you can go to the hotel and then go back up, which is what I did, which I'll come to that part. So my experience level is I've never done camping. I've done trekking, but I've never done trekking at this level. I looked at lists and videos of what to bring, what to pack, and how to train. So this is my version. For my experience, I had 0 tent and camping experience, but also I booked it with a company that they take care of the tents, sleeping bags, sleeping mattresses. So you have porters that help you setting up the tents, preparing the meals, and also just keep an eye on you if you have any trouble physically or also with the altitude. So you're not alone during the trekking. And we had a guide as well. Our guide Miguel was amazing, very helpful. And I also booked with a company that relatively does smaller groups. So it was me, another girl, Alina, who's the same age as me, but way, way stronger than I was, and our guide. So it was me, our guide, Alina, and the 8 porters. 8 porters is, I think, is the regulation. So there is a head porter, chef porter, sous chef porter, and 5 other porters who carries all the camping gear, food, and everything we need for the 4 days of trail. And there are some regulations about weight and what are the things you're allowed to bring. So your duffel bag, which is everything that goes for the night time, your extra clothes, what you don't need during the day, has to be less than 7 kilos, and they take a scale and literally weigh how heavy it is. And this 7 kilos should include your sleeping bag, which the company gave it to us, so I knew what right temperature of sleeping bag I'm supposed to be using, because as I said, I have no experience of what kind of sleeping bag I was supposed to bring. Also your clothes, toiletries, medication, extra shoes or sandals. So everything else you need, but not during the day, goes into a duffel bag, and duffel bag is with the porter, so you don't have this duffel bag during the day. So your backpack. So my backpack is, I got this one, which is 36 liters, Osprey. And I wanted to get this because Osprey has a lifetime warranty, so if anything happens to the bag, they repair it under the warranty. And this is the 36 liter for female version. And what I did is I went to the store and tried on the bags, because you need to see how it fits to your back and how it feels on you. And also you can adjust this, as you can see, from different parts, and it has this breathable part, so when you're walking during the day you don't sweat from your back as much, and it gives you a really good support with the waist and your front, so everything clips and you can adjust the tightness. What I wish is the bag is really good, it fits everything, and I didn't fully pack it, so I have some extra space to put on my coat if I'm too warm, or take out some layers if it was too cold, because during the day the temperature changes with the altitude as well. What I wish is, instead of getting a 36 liter, maybe I should have gotten a lighter bag that's maybe 25 liters, because in Machu Picchu they don't allow you this bag. This is too big, they won't let you, so you can check this bag to storage for 5 soles, which is very affordable. And also after a while this bag was too heavy at one point. And I also had this bag, which was my front pouch bag for putting my camera, well, my phone, which is not phone camera, wallet, and some of the important valuables. And I also, once I left this bag in the Machu Picchu storage room, I was able to walk around with this one, so this was very useful. Also you want a bag cover for rain, and also a poncho for the rain, so these are very important. And let's move on to the what to bring part, as I was talking about the bags. So I had this jacket, because on the list they give you a list what to bring. You need a windbreaker, raincoat, jacket. It gets rainy around this season, so best season to visit Machu Picchu is May till October, and October is when their rainy season starts, as the seasons are reversed from the North Hemisphere. October, November, December becomes very rainy. December is when their summer starts, and that gets like full-on rain, and also the trail gets very rainy, slippery, almost flooded, and it's not very safe to hike because you go down lots of stairs and you don't want to slide and fly off a cliff. So I got this jacket, good old North Face jacket, and it has an inner layer that you can take out. So it was actually a good jacket for this trip. However, it was very heavy as well. So this jacket itself, I think, was 2-3 kilos, and once this was in my backpack became 6 kilos. We checked it, and 6 kilos is really heavy to carry for 6-7 hours a day. I also had this big camera, my Nikon, which I wish I didn't bring because it was really heavy as well. So I mean, it's really good to take pictures with, but it was very heavy. On the first day my back was hurting from carrying the heavy winter jacket and this camera, and once I took these out my bag was 3.5 kilos, so you can imagine how much weight it was. And other useful things is hiking shoes, for sure. Hiking shoes is, you want something with the ankle support. I'll put some photos on the video as well. ankle sport, good soles, and something that's not brand new, something that you've already wore and broke in. So my shoes was, I had it for 5-6 years. I hiked with them before and I know they were very comfortable. Hiking socks, I used Smartwool socks, but any other hiking sock that you feel comfortable. I recommend like more or higher than the ankle because there are a lot of mosquitoes on the trail and insect repellent for that reason, insect bite medicine. And Alina showed me this phone plug-in insect bite device gadget and it was really good. So it heats up and it neutralizes the insect bite poison, so that was really useful. Sun cream, definitely. Other things is you need 4 layers as a t-shirt or something that is good for sweating because during the day it's very warm, and also then something to wear above or change in the evening because in the evening it gets cold. A fleece layer, more like a light long sleeve layer. What else? 4 bottoms. If you're doing the 4-day trek you need 4 bottoms, and I recommend these two, maybe one of them that turns into shorts. I had that one, so it's long, but when it's very warm you can turn it into shorts and put the mosquito spray on. Otherwise all the mosquitoes will come after you. A scarf, hats and gloves. So in the evening when we were camping it was very cold and I used the gloves to sleep. A set of comfortable clothes when you finish hiking and you're just relaxing in the camp. So it could be sweatpants or something that's like lightweight but warm. And when you wear the hiking shoes all day you would prefer maybe to have sandals because there are some showers on the way, so if you have a shower access you also want sandals that you can get wet, or any comfortable shoe. Underwear, sports bra if you're a woman, and sanitary pads if you're a woman. Okay, so I'll maybe move on to the food, water, money situation. Food is, the camp provided us all of our meals and we didn't have to cook and carry our own food, which was a big benefit for me because I didn't know like how I would do this. Water is, I had a water bladder like this. So this goes into your backpack and this comes out and you can drink from it. You need at least 2 liters of water every day. And one day I was not drinking enough and I felt the dehydration with the altitude, so you definitely need 2 liters. But I thought this was gonna leak because this is like a cheap water bladder. If you have Camelback or something, a good brand that you used before, I recommend take that one. Or a water bottle like this that you know it won't leak and it has the capacity for 1.5 liters or 2 liters that you can refill. The problem is on the second day you go a lot of uphill roads and you don't want to carry heavy water. There are points you can buy bottled water, so money is another thing you need to keep in mind. The Peru government allows you $200 per day. I didn't want to carry that much cash every day, like thousands and thousands of dollars. So what I did is I had some money with me, which in dollars that or pounds, you can go to exchange places in Cusco or in bigger towns and you can exchange your money, or if you find an ATM you can just get soles from the ATM. Some ATMs charge you extra fee, but if you go to their Peruvian banks they don't charge you an extra fee for soles. I also have a Revolut card and Revolut gives you a better currency exchange rate, or if you have any other card that gives you a good exchange rate, I would say take that one with you. As the card is connected to my banking app, I was seeing what I spend and keep track of my expenses, and also in case the card is copied somewhere I'm like able to cancel it immediately. For the cashes I had I think 200-300 soles with me for the trekking part. Because you buy water, you buy snacks, maybe you have to pay for bathroom a little bit, or you have to pay for something you want to have access for, such as Wi-Fi and electricity. So it's good to have some cash with you, and when you arrive to Aguascalientes you can get more cash, but some ATMs were out of money, so it's good to have a contingency cash as well. And I divided the precious wallet and the dummy wallet, so that's more about the safety, but I had a dummy wallet with an expired card and some cash that I can disregard in case someone tried to mug me. which never happened. I was feeling very safe the whole time, but you know, in case this happens, I was gonna give the dummy wallet and keep the actual wallet with me. You need some money for the trekking to tip your porters and to buy some of the water and snacks. So for the snacks part, I had some protein bars and snack bars with me that I bought in London, because some snack bars, they make my stomach a little bit too active. And I didn't want to test this on the trail, so I wanted to buy the snack protein bars that I've already eaten before. I know how my body feels with it. So they have a lot of bananas, clementines, fresh fruit with them, so just you can carry these with you in your backpack to have it as a backup. Another thing you need to carry is a small trash bag. I carried Floki's poop bags with me because there's no bins to throw away on the way. It's good to have like a small trash bag that you keep like packaging and fruit peels, all sorts of stuff. Let's talk about the hygiene. 3 nights, 4 days, you may not be able to shower. There are some showers, but depends how much you want to shower in there. I would say there's a bathroom spot every 2-3 hours throughout the hike, because they want to keep the Inca Trail as clean as possible. I didn't have to use any nature for this. I used bathrooms every time. The only thing is the bathrooms usually don't have soap and toilet paper, so it's better to bring maybe a shampoo gel or a shower gel that you can use it as a hand soap, hand sanitizer, toilet paper, and wet wipes. The showers are available, but they're very cold because it's just mountain water, and it's also not very clean. I mean, it just helps you to like rinse off the sweat from you during the day, but they're not very comfortable. So if you prefer not to do the shower, and I also recommend if you're a female, if you wash your hair, it doesn't dry. Try to have the shower as early as possible in your day, like soon as you arrive to the camp, because as it gets more evening time, the water is colder. And also in the evening, you're not going to be able to warm up as there's no more sun. Wet wipes is another option for personal hygiene. I also just had my toothpaste, toothbrush, mouthwash, some of the creams I needed for like dry skin, and try to take the smaller sizes possible, because everything becomes a extra weight for you. And medication. So medication is one of the important things for me. I carried, just in case anything happens, such as diarrhea, food poisoning, altitude sickness, insect bites, burns. I had an emergency medical kit. I had an insect repellent, sun cream, antibiotics for food poisoning, bladder infection, ear infection, because these are things my body is more prone to. My friend Alina had Imodium to stop emergency diarrhea, and also something for vomiting or upset stomach. Because if you eat or drink something that's undercooked or something that your body is not used to, something unpasteurized, these can happen. So be mindful also what you're eating and drinking. The water is not drinkable, so they have to either give you bottled water, you have to buy a bottled water, or on the 3rd day we boil the water to drink it, but I think it still made my stomach a little bit upset. I had paracetamol with me, but I wish I brought ibuprofen and magnesium as well, because on the 2nd day after walking such an uphill hike, my muscles were very tired, and magnesium helps your muscles to recover quicker, electrolytes as well. I have a past kneecap injury, so the ibuprofen really helped with the joint swelling for me. Talk about the training and altitude. So I live on the sea level in London, and luckily in the past Istanbul is on hills, and I've been on mountains before, and when I arrived to Cusco, it's 3,400 meters. I was okay. I didn't have a serious altitude problem. Some people have headaches, dizziness, vomiting, diarrhea, and lots of different symptoms, muscle pain. But one day we stayed in 4,000 meters to visit a village, and that's when I had a bit of an altitude sickness problem, because 40,000 meters is, I think, when you start feeling it. It was also my 4th day after spending a couple of days to adjust. What I recommend is if you arrive to Lima and fly to Cusco, spend 2 days in Cusco just to get your body adjusted, and also take it easy. Don't over exercise your body. eat lighter things, don't drink alcohol, don't smoke. These are all the things I was very mindful of. And also before going to Peru, I'm not a smoker, but I also didn't drink much alcohol, and I try to train as much as possible. And with the altitude is, if you have a headache, if you're feeling the altitude, one option is to go downhill. Second option is they sell soroche pills. I had it with me just in case. The soroche is the Quechua word for altitude. And other option is chewing cocoa leaves and drinking cocoa tea, but I didn't like the taste, so I was like, I'd rather suffer than drinking the cocoa tea. So I can't really much comment on this. Anyway, altitude is one thing to be mindful of, and when you're hiking you feel the altitude. Let's talk about the training part. I usually am an active person. I train 3-4 days a week just on a regular basis. I do running, swimming, cycling, and rock climbing. Rock climbing is at least once a week, sometimes 2 times a week, and I thought I was fit. I was doing like stairs up and down and doing strength exercises, lifting weights. So I thought I trained enough for this, but I wasn't. I have a past knee injury, so if you have any past ankle, knee, hip joint problems, also make exercises such as physical therapy to strengthen all these injured parts of your body. What happened is 12 years ago my kneecap got dislocated, went back in, and I know like the left knee can be a bit of a problem, so I was very careful with my knees. I had the sticks, batons to help me for the hike. Yeah, so training part is I did the elliptical and the Stairmaster, all of this, outdoor, indoor, all sorts of gym and exercise for 3 months. When we were hiking on the second day, so second day is you go 1,000 meters in elevation, and you reach from 3,200 to 4,200 meters. Then you reach to Dead Woman's Pass, and as you're going uphill on the stairs for the whole time, I was doing 15 steps and rebreathing, because it feels like you put the elliptical machine on the hardest level and you're like doing the maximum capacity you can do, so you feel like your chest is very tight, difficult to breathe, your heart rate goes up really fast. Usually my heart rate is 55 beats per minute, which is a really healthy heart rate. There I was able to feel 170 heart rate for just walking 15-20 steps uphill. So that's the altitude. Your heartbeat is faster, your breathing is faster, you're a bit lightheaded, and everything feels very difficult and heavy. For the altitude is carry as light as possible in your backpack. Take your time, don't push your body, because this can result in blood clot, heart attack, or any other breathing and heart related complications. And just don't rush it. Also, your guide usually should tell you, take your time, listen to your body, don't push yourself, and really you shouldn't push yourself. There was like other people who were doing the same as me. We were like a team of 15 steps waiting, 15 steps waiting. I waited until my heart will go back to its normal speed and then climb again. And if you climb too fast, that's pushing your body too much, but also if you climb too slow, you're putting more stress on your joints and legs. So you have to find the balance in between. Drink as much as water possible. I didn't drink a lot on the second day because I didn't want to carry all the water uphill as an extra weight. But there was a point that I felt tingling in my arms and pain in my arms. And that was a sign of dehydration with the altitude. So once I started drinking more water and resting, once I reached the top, it went away, but this would have been a problem. Yeah, just also listen to your body. If you're hungry, eat a snack. If you're cold, put on your jacket. If your hands are cold, put on gloves. And also for the knees, I looked after my knees really well during the hike. I stretched every time. I took ibuprofen. If they were painful, I would take a break and wait for them to recover a little bit, because you go up the stairs a lot and then you go down the stairs on the third day, so it is a lot of work on the knees and hips. Let's talk about the documentation. If you're documentation as a means of taking photos, videos, etc. I had my phone, which is a Samsung S23 phone, my giant camera, which I stopped using it after day 1 and put it in my night duffel until I saw it like the last 2 hours of the hike. because the big camera was too much weight to carry. If you have a smaller mirrorless camera, you can take it with you. And I had my phone with power banks, 2 of them, so if one of them would run out, I have the backup. And I try to use it only for taking photos. You don't get much of cell reception, so you just have to use the phone more for like photos and videos anyway. I put it on flight mode, try to save battery as much as possible, and use the power banks when I need it, and took lots of photos and videos. Whenever I have Wi-Fi in the hotels or places I'm sitting, I would back up the photos to a Google Drive. You can also use Dropbox, or if you have an external saving storage unit, you can do that. And for the camera, I had the memory card, so I had the 8GB and 32GB memory cards and regular batteries. Also, one other thing is when you're camping, once it's dark after 6 p.m, there's no light source and you need like a little headlamp. I also had a bike lamp as a backup. Headlamp was with batteries and the bike lamp was with a USB charging, so if one of them would run out, I have a backup. And this is very, very useful because you're like trying to go to the bathroom in the darkness and you need to see where you're going. Make everything rainproof as well, so plastic Ziploc bags or anything that's waterproof. My phone had a waterproof, shockproof case, and also just backing up everything in case you lose the phone or something bad happens. Permits is, as I said, for the Machu Picchu, you need a permit. For Inca Trail, you need a permit. You need to have your passport and other visa documentation cards with you. I had like my driver's license and some other IDs. I scanned all of these before leaving London, and I had all of this backed up on a Google Drive as well in case I lose my phone or I lose these documents. I had everything backed up. Also the itinerary, emergency phone numbers, the phone numbers of the travel agency, your guide. Just it's good to have all of these useful emergency information with you. And season to visit, as I mentioned, May till September is really nice to visit. It's dry, sunny, mostly comfortable. Temperature is about 20 degrees during the day and 10 degrees in the evening. And let's talk about female solo travelers. So I went to Peru on my own. I wanted to go with Ingimar or my friends and it didn't work out. I've been trying to go to Peru for 10 years. There was like master's thesis, work visa, pandemic, Peruvian political situations. It didn't work out with friends' calendars. So at the end I'm like, I'm gonna go on my own. But I booked with Wayki Trek that they would pick me up from the airport in Lima and they will drop me off to the airport in Lima for 10 days. So everything was booked and arranged, and it's a really, really good travel company. I would definitely recommend it. And I traveled through Lima, Ica Valley, which is a desert, Paracas, Pisco, Nazca, and then drove back to Lima, and then flew to Cusco. So the inbound national flights, you have to buy it separately. I flew with LATAM Airlines. From Cusco, they again picked me up, dropped me off to the hotel. All the hiking, city visits, Sacred Valley tours, they all were arranged and booked by them. I just was like, sit back and enjoy it. You can also try to book all of these on your own, but my recommendation, whether you're male or female, driving in Peru is dangerous. It's a petroleum and natural gas producing company, and when you are on the Pan America highway, which goes from Peru to Nazca, 450 kilometers, there's a oil truck, petroleum truck for the whole road, and they try to take over. They don't give signals. It's very, very dangerous to drive, and you probably need a 4x4 or 4x2, a strong, sturdy car, because some of the roads are also very dirt roads and there are sharp turns. I don't think I would be able to drive in Peru, and the mountain roads are also like this. For safety so in Lima I stayed in Miraflores area, which is the safe touristy area. And in the other cities such as Nazca, Ica, I was just mostly in the hotel, because by the time I arrived to the hotel after doing everything, it would be 6-7 p.m. It's already dark, and I didn't want to go out and venture as a female solo traveler who looks very much not from Peru. I didn't want to take my chances. So it's just having a bit of a common sense. If I'm tired and if I didn't feel like going out, I stayed in the hotel in the evenings to relax. Cusco is much safer, so there's a lot of police and it's more travel friendly, and I think it is fine. So in the evening in Cusco I went out a few times, but I didn't drink alcohol alone, or I didn't stay out late. It was usually until 9 p.m. that I was like out for dinner or walking around, and then I would go back to the hotel. And other things is I always message to my family whereabouts I am, so they have an idea where I'm staying. I stayed in Casa Andina hotels for the entire trip that the agency have booked for me, and Casa Andina I would say is a nice, clean, 3-star, 4-star nice hotel. The ones I stayed are like really nice, comfortable. When you need something, the reception comes and helps you. Breakfast is usually included. My favorite part was on the last day of the hiking, I ran out of clean clothes. There are quick laundry services in Cusco that does it in 2-3 hours, and they bring it to your hotel, and the prices are very reasonable. So I gave everything to a laundry service and they washed it and brought it back to the hotel. So if you're worried about what if I don't have enough to wear, it's very solvable. As a female solo traveler, I didn't wear anything that would attract attention because I didn't know what to expect. So I just mostly wear my black sweatpants or black trousers, a t-shirt, no jewelry, no crazy makeup, and anything that I will just like mostly blend into the crowd. I speak medium to intermediate level Spanish, so that definitely helped, because in Lima and Cusco people speak English, but in other parts of Peru there are not that many English speakers. So if you learn a little bit of Spanish before going there, or have a little, you know, everyday words book with you, I think that will be useful. Google Translate is also useful, but the internet doesn't work everywhere. And also you can get a SIM card in Peru if you need internet more often. What's like the last thing, logistics and safety. As I mentioned, I wouldn't drive in Peru. Bus and taxis, which I didn't really try, so I don't have much of experience to say. But in Cusco, there's Peru Rail to go to Machu Picchu, and then you go to Aguascalientes and you buy your bus ticket to go up to Machu Picchu. If you don't want to do the Inca Trail, this is the other option. Or what we did is, we did the Inca Trail in 3 days, saw the sunset in Machu Picchu, descended with the bus, and then for the next day we bought a round trip bus ticket. Because, you know, you go up, you visit Machu Picchu, and then you go down. But if you don't want to queue for hours and hours, it's good to have the train ticket and bus ticket pre-booked. And I think that's everything. So I hope this video is useful, and on the following days I'll be making a video more specific to the Inca Trail and Machu Picchu and my adventures in Peru. And thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.